In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Good morning everybody and welcome to the latest Elite FPL breakfast show with me, Steve-O. Yep, I've decided to do a breakfast show in the morning because, as I always state, because I can. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's joining me on this early morning. Admittedly, the majority of you are probably from Australia, South Africa, any other Southern Hemisphere based, New Zealand based countries. But let's go and say hello to the people that have joined me at the moment. Like I said, nice one everybody. Sam21G, J-Boy, Scots Fitzgerald, Christian Carbone, Armand Dillon. You better be on the birthday celebration on Friday. You better be here, Armand, because you were one of 2 people that were in the chat. So you, along with Andy Salter, were one of only 2 people that were part of the live chat when myself, Dan and Jason went live. So it'd be great to have you on Friday, albeit the time will be a bit mad. And we've already had a member join, James Bank. Cheers, James. Really appreciate it. What time's it over in Hong Kong? That'll be interesting to hear what time it is over there. Dave Singh, good afternoon to you, my friend. Morning, more to the point. Gabrielle Derop, Phil, you're up early. Good morning. Brett Mollison's here. If you want to come live on air, Phil, be more than happy to be a co-host today. Oh, you're working. Fair enough. Mane, good morning to you. A human being. Good morning there. Ray Joyce, afternoon. And there we are. All I can say is genuinely thanks everybody for joining in. It's all a bit of I always say it's a bit of an impromptu stream, but like I always say, stick to Discord and you'll find out immediately if I'm going to be doing a stream or not. Or, of course, Twitter at Elite FPL. Don't worry, James, honestly, don't worry about the super chat. Really, do not worry about it. But yeah, as I've put in the thumbnail, a picture of Aguero and Jesus, and yeah, it's a bit of a headache. It's a bit annoying. The fact that they both started last night in a 3-1 victory. I don't believe Aguero was even subbed off. In fact, I know he wasn't subbed off. What does that mean? Does that mean that Aguero won't be starting? I agree with James on Planet FPL that if you own Aguero, like I do, captain him. Although a little exclusive for everybody watching now, the history is going with Kevin De Bruyne for captaincy. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, whenever we do our preview show, myself and Jason, I always go through the history and it always seems to come up trumps when it comes to captaincy picks. So I go through who the most popular captaincy picks are for the week. In this specific case, it will be obviously the 3 big guns at Man City, so Sterling, Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne. And I've gone with Jamie Vardy. I think a lot of people will be going with Jamie Vardy. And yeah, and out pops Kevin De Bruyne. So Kevin De Bruyne, in 4 starts versus Southampton over the last 6 fixtures, he's got 1 goal and 4 assists. Aguero, 5 starts, 3 goals, 2 assists. You can now make that 6 starts, 5 goals, 2 assists. And then Sterling, 4 starts, 1 sub-appearance. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists. Reality is that if you own any of them, they're all worth a captaincy punt. I'm probably going to go with the history again. Ironically, I went with the history on Saturday, but of course I don't own Salah. The history on last week Thursday suggested either captaining Salah or De Bruyne, and of course, Salah or Aguero. I only own Aguero, and I went with Aguero, and we all know what happened there, and it is a bit of a pain in the backside, and I am so tempted to just do like a -20. I know it sounds extremely extreme, but just get it out of the way. I in the Cash Mini League, and we'll go over that in a minute, but the Cash Mini League is just, I'm nowhere to be seen. I'm absolutely miles away. And yeah, as are saying, Steve-O, the historian who never listens to the history, it's the biggest mistake I have made this season, where I haven't gone with the history. If I had done, I'd actually be, I think it worked out to be 30 points better off, which is absolutely ludicrous. Scott's Fitzgerald saying, how about just Aguero to Vardy? No, I can't do that this week. Vardy away at Crystal Palace. In fact, Vardy versus Crystal Palace over the last 6. 5 starts, 1 sub-appearance, 1 goal. And Crystal Palace at the moment are really, really, really good. And I don't think that I would like to risk bringing in Vardy for Aguero. I'm just sticking to it. Notorious Nerd, good morning to you. Mane most headed attempts. Villa concede from headers. A very good differential captain pick versus Villa. The problem is that Mane's away form. My basic understanding is that he seems to do pretty well at home, but when it comes to away from home, he's not. I'm probably going to be proven wrong now. Of course I am. Southampton away got a goal and assist. Burnley away gets a goal. Oh, yeah. Maybe you're onto something, man. Notorious, sorry. Maybe you are onto something. Maybe Mane is the best captain. When we do the anniversary show on Friday, by weird coincidence, this time last year, it was Man City versus Southampton. And it was also Bournemouth versus Man United. It's a bit surreal, really, going back and looking over the very, very first ever episode we did live. And I made a point on the specific stream that Aguero was the best captaincy that particular game week, but it'll probably end up just getting a goal. And you know what? I think that could be exactly the same again. I just find it so frustrating that he got 2 goals last night, basically, because you know exactly what's going to happen. Simon Anderson, good morning. Mark Antwiga, good morning, my friend. Jerome, evening from Australia. Stein's here. Wow, morning to you. Super Sport Gaming, I'll come on to that question in a second. Pundy, good morning, and good morning Harbour Boy as well. Like I said, good morning to you all joining me. If you had told me this time last year that you'll be doing morning breakfast shows to X amount of people across the world, like I always say, from Australia, South Africa and New Zealand, I'd have just said, get the out of here. the old Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley, get the out of here. I just crazy. And I will be, for anybody that is a member, well, I'll be straight with you, the premium membership, I will be either today or tomorrow, probably be tomorrow, be doing an exclusive podcast. But reality is that I'm just going to be doing a thank you to the particular, not just the members, but just a general thank you to everybody that has made this channel reach near enough 3,000 subscribers, and it's extraordinary. The growth of this channel is absolutely incredible, starting from literally 0. And I don't want to keep banging on about it, but we've got our man Dylan here, who has literally been here since last week. Last year. So essentially, this time last year was our first ever live stream. And people like our man Dylan have been with us since day dot. And it's a true testament to people like him that's stuck with us for literally a year. Jerome, thank you for the kind words there. It's because you provide quality service, my friend. At the end of the day, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't want to keep banging on about it, but at the end of the day, I've been doing this for 10 years, discussing fantasy football. I've been organising leagues, obviously work leagues, friend leagues, whatever. And we're not even talking about this specific game here. I'm talking about games that I've personally created myself. And then, of course, once I stopped doing that and I found out about this game here, jumped on board of this. I've always done reports whether it's through email, quite literally written pieces of paper, whether it was on a private Facebook, whether it was on public Facebook, whatever. And reality is that I have always talked about football and how it affects fantasy football. So, for example, I'll always remember when I used to do reports based on what happened in the League Cup, as an example, and how it would affect, obviously, fantasy football and the weekend's fixtures. I.e., like last night with Aguero and Jesus starting. Now, where on earth did that come from? And now it's getting us even more guessing about what's going to be happening on Saturday. But to be honest with you, I do think that I'd like to think Aguero will start. But whatever, it's just a complete guessing game. And I probably will be captain. In fact, no, I've said I'm going to be captain De Bruyne. So I may as well put the captaincy on De Bruyne. To hell with it. Go with the history. Go with the history. So that's that bit done. But yeah, and the point being is that you fast forward like 10 years of my life, and then the last year has been just absolutely ridiculous. And we've gone from a stage now where myself and Jason's only been on board with us for just over a year. So he only joined me and Dan in possibly October-ish time. And even then, Jason was just a bit part player for our show. And it would have been maybe December-ish when Jason started becoming more of an influential figure between the three of us. It's almost like it's become the guy that's producing the show has now become a mainstay on the show. A bit like with Comedy Dave. For all you kids out there, Comedy Dave, that was with Chris Moyles on Radio 1. He was just a producer. And then he basically became one of the presenters. Same with Carl Pilkington. He was just a producer with Ricky and Steve. And then just like that, he becomes pretty much the main guy. It's the same with Jason. He was the guy that was just doing all the tech behind us, behind me and Dan and everything. Me and Dan were the hosts. Yeah, Jason was live on air. He wouldn't say much. Now, he's the mainstay of the show. And you've now been presented with what you've got and everything. So yeah, like I said, I just enjoy doing all this, and it's just fantastic that all you guys are here just listening in to what I'm saying. So let's just quickly run through. I wonder if actually on Twitter, if it will quite literally be on there with the results. So I'll just quickly, I'd like to think it will be on here. So let's just quickly go through exactly, Carabao, isn't it? Carabao Cup, I'd like to think it will have the results on here, and then we can just quickly, briefly go over exactly what happened last night. And I'm fully aware what happened last night. You don't need to tell me. But we had Leicester winning 3-1. Of course, Leicester benching. In fact, they pretty much had a mainstay team of second stringers. So it was basically their B team, with the exception of a couple of players here or there. So we had a Warding goal. Justin, I mean, again, I don't have a clue what their first names are, but Justin, Wes Morgan, Johnny Evans, Christian Fuchs in defence. We then had Chowdhury, Darmian Gray, Pratt, Tielemans, Albrighton and Iheanacho in the starting 11. Maddison did come on. Indeed, he came on, and so did Harvey Barnes, so a complete rest for Jamie Vardy here. And of course, Tielemans getting one of the goals last night. We then move on to Everton 2-0 against Watford. Let's just quickly run through the team sheets here and let's find out. Everton's team: Pickford, Coleman, Mina, Holgate, Digne, Gomez, Delph. Moise Keane played, did he? Okay. Iwobi, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. So really, Everton put out pretty much a first team there, I see. Richarlison and Holgate with the goals. Watford, on the other hand, yeah, a complete second string. Not that it really affects fantasy football, but we're talking Gomez in goal, Falquire, Mariappa, Prodal, Cathcart and Kika Familia in defence, Will Hughes, Chalobah, Quinner, Andre Gray and Roberto Pereira up top. Man City, of course, the biggest talking point is the Man City game versus Southampton. 3-1 eventual winners there. Pretty comfortable. Of course, Otamendi goes and scores last night. Of course, again, Sergio Aguero scores twice. We had Bravo in goal, Walker, Otamendi, Garcia, Angelino, Bernardo Silva, Doyle, Phil Foden, Mahrez, Aguero and Jesus up front. Aguero lasting the full 90 minutes. Does that mean that he won't be playing on Saturday? Who blinking knows is the simple answer. But that's what happened in the Carabao Cup last night. Of course, tonight we've got more action. And of course, the big one being Chelsea versus Man U and Liverpool versus Arsenal. So that should be very, very interesting indeed to find out what happens specifically there. Moving on to what's going on in chat at the moment. Oh, by the way, I haven't actually mentioned, if you want to come live on air, by all means just get into the Discord waiting room and I'll be more than happy to bring whoever live on air. Something, what's his face? Yes, Mr. Blue Nathan, no firework attacks. No, that just all died up. They have not. Cheers, Sam21. Don't worry about it. I'm aware that it's a very, very early morning stream. Nishif Reddy saying Otamendi to another defender for a hit. No, I would hold on. Yeah, exactly as Scott Fitzgerald said. Don't worry about that. Simon Anderson saying that you think he found us guys around Christmas. By all means, come. Like I said, make sure you are. Make sure that you come live on air, basically. Phil, yeah, I'll be more than happy to bring you live on air. Just get in the waiting room and I'll just bring you on. And we'll talk about the community team, actually. That's what we'll talk about. The community team, for anybody that's wondering what the hell I'm talking about, is the Elite FPL community team. Your team, your decisions, basically. Kosk, you're online at 7 AM, mate. Yeah, well, I've been up since 3. Notorious Nerd, your presentation is as good and even better than most FPL content creators out there, and even some another site's pundits. I'm going to be completely honest with Notorious Nerd. I completely agree with you. It's not difficult to put effort into the presentation, but I don't want to go onto a mini rant. That'll be saved for members. I think I'll save that for members. Yeah, Nick Treadwell there saying this is serious dedication to the FPL course. To be fair, it's out of respect to our Southern Hemisphere fans as well. You know, at the end of the day, you can talk fantasy football every single day of your life, but there's no point in doing it at the same time every single evening in the UK, being like between 6 o'clock in the evening to 8 o'clock and then finishing at whatever time at night. You know, it's just more important that we essentially dedicate our time to our audience all over the world. At the end of the day, this channel's just grown so much that reality is that we need to do this, and this is the future of Elite FPL. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. A couple of years' time, I reckon that we could be the first FPL show which will go on for possibly 24 hours. This is my honest opinion. 24 hours, and it'll be exactly like any radio show. And the people that would cover, for example, the 1 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the morning shift will be someone from Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, whatever. You know, you'd then have me doing the morning show, you'd then someone doing the afternoon show, and then you'd have Jason doing the evening show. I'm not joking with you. That is a vision that I have, and I can see it happening. I think that the pull is there, and I think that it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Good morning, Mavid Dykels. James Bang, it's nice to be not having to be up at 3 a.m. to listening live. Thanks. No, thank you. You can come live on air if you want. Jerome saying, where do we put our resumes in? Get us in 2 years' time, so 2021, and we'll discuss it then, Jerome. No worries at all, Mr. Blue Nathan. I'm going to bring on Phil. I believe Phil is waiting in the waiting room, so we can bring on a caller. We don't have to listen to me anymore. In fact, wow, we've got a potential new caller as well, Phil. So I'll bring on Phil, and I'll also bring on Ed. Good morning, Phil. How are you?
Morning, Steve. How's it going, buddy?
How come you're up so early? What's the story here?
I've just finished work. I'm working up at a poker tournament in Birmingham this week.
You don't need to go into specific details if you can't, but how are you getting on in that?
No, I'm just the poker dealer. I just deal the cards.
Ah, right, I see. I thought maybe potentially you could be one of the guys that's taking it professionally and that you're winning a lot of money and you could pump it into Elite FPL. What are your thoughts on Aguero?
If I had it, I would, Steve. Elite 24. Elite 24 is not far away, buddy. I promise you.
What are your thoughts on this whole Aguero Jesus headache then?
I'm glad I don't have it. Yeah.
It's a nightmare, isn't it? Okay, the one question I'll ask you is, do you think Aguero will start this particular game week?
If I'm honest, I'd say no, Steve.
No.
I'd say no, and then he plays the Champions League. Because I'm just thinking in Pep's head, I believe that the Champions League is a more important thing that he wants to win.
Yes.
With Southampton being as bad as they are at the moment, he can play a B team and maybe, I don't want to say it, but maybe even bench Sterling as well. So they're both fresh. I don't really look at the Champions League that much. I'm not sure how they are with the standing, but I'm guessing they want to try and still going through as soon as possible.
Is a question for you, Phil. Gavin Gould, good morning, pal. What do you think on Aubameyang and what should, well, in this case, Gavin Gould specifically do with Aubameyang?
Aubameyang's another situation like Aguero. Since that he was going on about that triple A thing, because I listened to Planet FPL thing earlier, all three of them have all blanked for 3 weeks in a row. I think that's crazy.
Brilliant. Wasn't there that specific statistic that Connolly of Brighton has actually scored more points than Aguero over the last 6 fixtures or something crazy like that? It's just absolutely ludicrous. But good morning to Joshua Swabe, listening in from Jamaica. Wow, thanks for joining in. Really appreciate it. Mr. Blue Nathan saying I should flip a coin to see if Aguero starts. I don't know if this is for real or not, but David Hurahan is saying that I don't know if you know Dave, but he's saying that Dave's here from the same card room as you. Apparently, Phil. I don't know if that's a joke or not, but do you know a David Hurahan, Phil?
I do recall the name. I do recall that name.
Well,
ask is he a player or a dealer?
David Hurahan, are you a player or a dealer? He's just saying hello to you, and he's just saying he's from the same card room. So this is what we're doing, bringing friends together. Fantastic. Up on screen at the moment, Phil, we have got the community team up on the screen at the moment. You must be loving it. 65 points this week, and you've moved up from, what was it, 3 million? Let's just quickly find out. 2.7 million up to 1.9 million. Of course, it was, what's his face? Your captain, Kevin De Bruyne. just missed out on that goal that wasn't given. You of course had Jamie Vardy, Pereira from obviously Friday evening, Yarmolenko. I remember you and I both questioning that move, but it's paid off. Yeah, your thoughts on this community team moving forward?
At the moment, the vote still says we're going with just one from our 2 transfers, so it's going to probably be Bolly going out, and then it's just looking to go forward, really. But...
Yeah, for everybody listening in, I'll show you the poll vote at the moment. So if you are part of the Discord, if you want to go to the poll vote community team, there is a poll in there. Basically, how many transfers would you like to use out of 2 free ones? And essentially, it's either 1, 2 or 3. At the moment, the most popular one is just to use 1 free transfer at the moment, as Phil's just mentioned there, getting rid of Bowley. Phil, how are you regarding your team for game week 11? You confident?
Yeah, I'm quite happy going forward. I've got my... I do want to bring up something that I know you're feeling a bit down about your team. I know you may recall in the first 2 weeks I was cemented to the bottom of the Cash League, Steve. I think I was 3.8 or 3.6 in rank. Now, if you just go to the Cash League for a minute, quick for me, and go to the monthly ones for August and October, I think you'll find I was 4th 1 month and 7th in another month.
Oh wow!
So as long as if you turn around and start being consistent, I mean, I see a few areas that I could change. One being the keeper. So I got lucky with McGovern for the 2 weeks that he played. Then I brought in Kepa. I was unlucky not to get another 5 points from him this week. It's just you're just spotting them little things, Steve. Once it turns round, there's still so much more of the game. Even Double M and Show Me the Mane, they're going to slip soon. Mane can't run that good all season.
I'm so glad you're bringing... go on, give us your thoughts on Show Me the Mane at the moment. Let's start having a go at him, because like I said, this whole... In all seriousness, this show is supposed to... Well, I say supposed to be. It's about a mini league that we take seriously. Now, at the time, it was, of course, our local personal work league, but now it's switched into quite literally a worldwide cash mini league, and I'll bring it up in 2 seconds as I log in. And yeah, go on. Tell us your thoughts on Show Me the Mane.
I mean, good luck to if you've had a good game week. I mean, it did. Even I think it was either Monday or Tuesday that he was saying that he's already picked his captain and brought him in. So he said all week he was going to do it.
In fact, I'll tell you exactly what Show Me the Mane said. And by the way, Show Me the Mane, if you're watching now, if you're watching the replay, like I said, I'd love to get you live on air. It would be absolutely fantastic. But he actually said, Phil, that he's bought. Not only has he bought in a player, he's going to be captaining this particular individual, and he's owned by less than 1% of the game. So
is that what he said? He said that this week.
That's what he said this week. Yeah, no, this is what he said for this week. Yeah.
But I'm saying credit to him. Last week he was on the stream. It was either Monday or Tuesday when he was live, and he did say, "I've brought someone in and captain him, and I think he's going to haul massive." He was saying that pre Friday. So credit to him with this week. So I think he has got some reason to cheer this week and make a bit of noise for himself.
Yeah, he's up to 1,721. For people listening in order, if you're wondering what on earth me and Phil are talking about, so the Cash Mini League that 91 participants are, you guys that are watching are part of. Show Me the Mane has moved up to first spot after an absolute devastating Friday evening, and then on to the weekend where I still can't get my head around his differentials. But again, as much as I can't stand you, mate, fair play to you. 95 points this particular game week. We've got Matt Ryan in goal, Rico, Alexander-Arnold, Cresswell, but this is when the differentials kick in. David Silva, De Bruyne, Salah, Yarmolenko, Willian, I can't get my head around that. But
yeah, the William one's just out there completely.
Callum Wilson and Vardy as captain. I mean, again, fair play to him. He did make the point that at the end of the day, he watches a hell of a lot of football. He made a point in the chat to me that at the end of the day, he likes to bring in players that he watches live, and then of course he feels that in the near future they will bring in the returns. Well, Willian, as just a very basic example, if we actually look over him as an actual potential option, he's got 2 goals and 2 assists. The first 4 game weeks, he basically played 49 minutes. So let's just dismiss that. But from game week 5 to 10, this is when he's got 2 goals and 2 assists, albeit half of that was against Burnley at the weekend. But, you know, you're talking a huge differential with 2.3% owned, which is crazy. His David Silva pick, I don't know when he brought him in. I could find out right now. But David Silva pick, I've been banging on about the drum about potentially bringing in David Silva ahead of a lot. In fact, he brought him in last week. So in game week... Oh no, sorry. This just really takes the biscuit. In game week 9, he actually got rid of David Silva and brought in Willian. And then this week, for a -4, he then brought in David Silva and got rid of Son. That's the kind of player we're up against. I mean, you must see this in poker all the time, Phil.
Wow, how has he done that?
Yeah,
he still works at. Oh, that's blowing my mind.
Yeah,
that's what.
Who on earth would actually consider doing this? I mean, if you look at his game week rank this season, so he played his triple captain in game week 1. Which I'm going to assume was Salah. Let's just quickly find out here. He got 100 points in game. Yeah, it was triple captaincy on Salah, which is fine. I mean, a lot of people did that already. A quick question for you, actually, Phil. Would you consider triple... was it you, actually? Someone in the Discord, I think this morning, was talking about triple captain and Sterling this week. It may have been Notorious Nerd or somebody, but
no.
You thought about potentially using that triple captaincy chip?
I think the thing with City and using the triple captain, I'd have to do it on a double game week just for the certainty that I'd get them playing in one of the games. With doing it in a single game week, I think you've got to go for a nailed-on player, either like a Salah, maybe an Aubameyang, but I'd much rather still hold out and use it on a double game week.
Yeah, his overall rank game week history so far.
In there again, it's things like that we have to wait for, Steve. If we try and chance it on a double game week because one person's got a great fixture, when it comes to a double game week and Mane uses his, our chip's got to be non-effective.
Yeah, that's the issue, because Jason always makes this... In fact, it was me that mentioned it to Jason last year, and then he's been chatting about it ever since, which is... Reality is that a triple captaincy is only worth it if you put it on a differential captain from the norm. So, for example, whenever Liverpool have their double game week next year, it will be against West Ham and, I don't know, let's just for argument's sake say Brighton. We all put everybody captain Salah, and then people like you and me triple captain Salah. Reality is that we're not going to make up any ground whatsoever, barring the extra few points on top. Whereas people like Mane and various others that may have triple captain Vardy, for instance, this particular game week, they're going to be in for a huge major advantage here. And looking over Mane's game week history so far, the highest place ranked he's been this year was in game week 3, where he was 869. He then got a load of red arrows, unfortunately, but he still maintained being in the top 10,000 until game week 9, where he dropped out and went to basically 20,000th. And then he's moved all the way up to 1.7,000. I mean, we've just had somebody mention the point, and I completely agree. In fact, I completely agree. Who was it? I saw it here. Basically, the individual said that Mane's probably brought in Pulisic and going to be captaining him. I can't see where it is.
You can see it. You can see it happening completely.
There it is. It's Angus Gordon.
It'd be something like he'd take out David Silva for him and then bring David Silva back in 2 weeks again.
Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely crazy. Good morning to Aussie Boy. Welcome. Good morning to 09. Matthew, good morning to you as well. Thank you everybody again for joining us. It's the Elite FPL Breakfast Show. We're talking really about, well, let's be honest here, the Aguero Jesus headache. At the moment, we're just talking about the Show Me the Mane, Wayne Henley, who is top of our Cash Money League at the moment. We've got Phil on the line, who we were just briefly talking about the community team. And like I said, for anybody that wants to cast their vote in the community team, just go to the Discord and it's in the poll vote team right there. So you just mentioned this. Go for it, Phil.
What's this -20 you're thinking of doing?
Well, okay, we'll come on to that in a second. Let's just quickly go over your team for 6 seconds here. So, where are you in the Cash Money League at the moment, Phil?
I jumped 40 places this week. I think I'm at 45 or 46.
45th, yeah. 79 blinking points. And, wow. And let's just quickly go through your game week history a second here. So you started... Wow, you've just got green. You started 4.4 million, and you rose all the way to 821,000. Please tell myself and the audience listening how you think you've done this.
Just by mapping out a schedule, Steve. After game week 2, when I used my wild card, I sort of mapped out 3-4 week blocks and thought, right, I need these players for this week. Over the next 4 weeks, I'll bring in these players for this one. I went a bit too heavy in my bench, and I'm sort of sorting that out now. I got rid of Barnes. I got rid of Kalashniak as well this week.
Oh, you've already done your transfers?
Yeah.
Are you willing to let us, your rivals, know what you've done or not?
Yeah, sure. Kalashniak to Ake, because I think he's got more. I know Rico's got some assist value, but I think for the actual goal, I think Ake's worth it. And I did Barnes as a player that I need in a few weeks' time to Danny Ings.
You're thinking of doing...
No, I've done it. I've already done Barnes to Ings.
Despite Ings playing for Southampton?
Yep.
Wow, and sorry, why have you done this?
So I've sort of half regret it now, but my plan is to move to a 3-4-3 in 3 weeks' time.
And which of your midfielders are you planning to get rid of?
Yarmolenko.
I'm assuming that's when...
He'd be gone after probably game week 12.
And that's when I'm assuming their fixtures turn? Yeah, so they'll have Tottenham, Chelsea, Wolves and Arsenal. I completely understand the logic and all this. And how much money have you got in the bank now after doing the moves of Barnes?
I've got 0.9 in the bank, and then now my next issue to decide over the next 2 weeks is Salah or Mane.
I so wish I was in your boat. I really do.
One thing I don't know how much you treat patterns, Steve-O, but if you can just bring up Mane, I think I was looking the other day, he hauled, then it was 2 weeks, he hauls, 2 weeks, he hauls, and it's been 2 weeks. So
really?
I think this will blow your mind, but I'm tempted to do a -4 and take out Sterling for Mane.
This week.
Yeah.
So going on this pattern, blank, return, blank, return, return, blank, blank, return, blank, return. I am a fan of patterns. So in theory, based on that pattern, he's probably going to blank against Aston Villa.
So against the rest of it?
I was just saying that based on that theory, then he's probably going to blank against Aston Villa if we're going to follow that pattern.
No, was it not? I can't remember. I was looking double-digit haul, and then it's 2. Then a double-digit, then it's 2.
Yes. Then you are bang on the money. Yes. Yeah, but two out of the 3 of those double digits have come at home. Is all I'd say to that. That's all I would say. But
and it's the fact of taking Sterling away from Southampton, which I'm just not doing. I'm not doing. It's that I can't do that.
Good morning, Davey FPL. Rahul, good morning to you. Davey FPL saying that he's only just... What do you mean you've only just woken up? It must be what? 8? Yeah, when you came on the show, it must be 8 o'clock in the morning over there. Oh, my goodness. All right for some. But are you happy? The question is, Phil, are you happy with the transfers that you've made?
Yeah. For me and my plans going forward, I'm more than happy with.
Let's just quickly bring up your team again. So for everybody, just a reminder, Phil's already done. I'm assuming there were 2 free transfers, yeah. Yeah. 2 free transfers. Kolasinac out, Barnes out, and we're bringing in Ake, Davey FPL's the most annoying player I find, but whatever. And then, of course, Ashley Barnes out for Danny Ings. Right then, let's bring on another caller, shall we? Let's bring on...
I will say, Steve, sorry about the hotel breakfast just opened, so I'm going to go down and grab some food before I go to sleep. I've got to be back at work at 12.
No worries. Phil, thank you for joining us this morning.
No worries, mate. You take care, Steve.
You too, and see you on probably tomorrow or even Friday for our celebration.
Yeah.
Cheers, Steve.
Mate.
Cheers,
take
Phil.
Care.
Thank you.
Bye.
There's Phil there, one of our good friends of the show. Let's bring on... I'll bring on 2 people. In fact, do you know what? Let's bring on 3 people. So, Aussie boy. Good morning, Aussie boy.
Yeah, good morning, mate.
Good morning. Are you back in Australia?
Yeah.
How did you find your European trip?
It was nice, yeah. Thanks for asking.
What of the whole time you were over in Europe, what was the best thing you did? Standout moment.
Probably the Liverpool things I did.
And remind our audience exactly what you did. Football-wise, that is.
My favourite was the Leicester game. Just because Premier League, it's amazing. Then second favourite was the Salzburg game. And then the tour.
Wow.
Of the stadium. So.
Wow. Wonderful. Good morning to Undershot Fugu. Good morning from Norway. Wow. We really are all over the place. Davey FPL, why are you tuning, Steve-O? I just cannot stand the fact you've got Ake. Drives me up the flaming wall. Matthew Zadroff. Yes. Elite FPL for life. Cheers, dude. Michael Mavid Dykel saying that Aussie boy comes back to the 34 degree heat. I'm going to bring on James Bang. James, good morning to you. You just need to unmute your mic. Hopefully he'll come on in a second. And we'll bring on NZ Ray as well. Morning, James.
Morning, can you hear me?
All you got to do is just turn the stream down a bit and we can have a coherent conversation. You're all wonderful there. And then we're going to bring on... I have a feeling this could be Ray Joyce. Is it Ray Joyce? NZ Ray, is this Ray Joyce?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It is fantastic. We've got all the Ray... Ray, I'm going to ask you this because we're not going to really get the. I don't think we'll get the opportunity to speak to you on Friday. How long have you been with the Elite FPL channel for?
Pretty much since you started. Yeah.
When was that? Sorry.
Since you started.
Wow. And what?
A year ago, anyway.
Wow. Like I said, what brings you consistently back to watching our show? And more importantly, what made you stick with us through the early days when we had no presentation? It was just me, Dan, and Jason. Literally just two of us stuck in front of the mobile phone. And of course, Jason in front of his webcam.
Oh, you guys had the same interests as me. You know, following the football, loving the FPL, and you always talking about the guys that I was thinking about anyway. And yeah, it's just good content.
You're in our cash mini league at the moment, and I'm sure you are, aren't you?
Yeah, 16th at the moment.
You're 6th. I'm glad we've got someone that's doing well in our mini league because we don't get many people. Bizarrely, I think it's only looking at this on here now. Oh, we've got one of your rivals in the chat actually in Davey FPL. But of all the people that come live on air, I've got to scroll all the way down to 8th, which is Charlie, and then it would be Davey FPL who's in 10th. Our man Dylan, if he can, tries to come live on air. Shaban moved all the way up the other day thanks to his insane picks of Chilwell and various others. Now let's just move on to you. You've dropped down to 16th. You are.
Yep.
How are you feeling after game week 10 had finished and you saw Vardy had got a hat trick in that 9-0 win? What were you thinking on Friday evening?
Oh, what a nightmare. But I was actually pretty happy to get out of it with 55 points for the week.
In all seriousness, what were your thoughts when... Did you watch the game? Did you listen to the game? Did you tune into our live stream? What were your thoughts genuinely when you watched this Leicester demolition of Southampton?
Well, unfortunately, I follow Southampton, so I wasn't that pleased. I watched it on the replay, but yeah, it was just an absolute nightmare.
When you say you watched it on the replay, do you mean that you knew the score already and you watched it, or you didn't have a clue?
Yeah, no, I already knew the score.
And you still put yourself through it?
Put myself through the punishment, yeah.
Seriously, tell us about the game. Why did it end 9-0? Why couldn't your guys, hold it off to maybe a respectable score of maybe 6 and at a push 7?
It's a good question. I think as soon as the sending off, I think they just dropped lip and yeah, it just snowballed, got worse and worse.
It was an extraordinary evening. Even when I was doing it live, but every other minute it was just a goal, and you're just like, what on earth is going on? And of course, the first 5 goals involved players which had no ownership. I think their combined ownership between Perez, Harvey Barnes, and Chilwell was about 9 or 10%, if that. Obviously, it's shot up since then, and I was thinking, I've been proven right again about the fact that all the goals from Leicester seem to be just coming from all over the place. And then, of course, in the second half, it was the more popular choices in Vardy and Maddison. Just absolutely crazy. Yeah. So come on, Ray. How are you finding this season so far? Let's be brutally honest here. You're doing very, very well. So how are you finding it?
Oh, I just look at my team each week, and you think you've got a team that's set up and should score really well. For the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been 40, 50, 30 points. It's just waiting for it to gel and have the 100-point week, which we all dream of.
What are your thoughts on Show Me the Mane that's top of our league at the moment, that has the audacity to get rid of David Silva and get rid of David Silva to bring in Willian, and then the following week to bring in David Silva for Son, for example. What do you think he's thinking? What do you think, how the thought process? Does it annoy you? Do you just think fair play to the guy? Because it flaming annoys me.
I just wish I could make the same picks.
It's crazy. It's just absolutely absurd. And like you said regarding your points, you're averaging, I would say, it looks like, give or take, about 50 points a week. That's not the exact thing, but 49, 51, 52, 30, 90, 49, 51, 42, 55. We're talking like give or take 50 points a week here. How many points are you off the 4th spot, for example? Let's just quickly see where you are from a 4th. So you're on 569, and 4th is on 602. So you're 31, like 33 points off 4th spot in our Cash Min League. Is it catchable?
Oh, well, that's only picking Vardy and having score 3 goals and 40 points.
Absolutely. Now you're not in the dilemma this year or this week specifically of having Aguero in your team. You've got Sterling and De Bruyne. Your thoughts on this Jesus Aguero headache? Do you think Aguero will start this particular game week?
Oh, I'm in the same position as everyone else. No one knows. I'm particularly glad or happy not to have that issue, not to have to make the decision.
I'm assuming you must have been loving it when you saw the news that Sterling was benched and wasn't even in the squad yesterday. I'm assuming that's an automatic captaincy pick for yourself?
Yeah. And I'm hoping Mendy plays and Sterling and Mendy could have a good day against Southampton.
When you saw, obviously, that you lost 3-1 last night, a respectable score, to be fair. In fact, ironically, the history regarding the preview is actually suggesting that you'd win 3-1 as well, and obviously that happened last night. Do you think that the scoreline will be kept the same, or do you think that actually it's the Premier League and Pep Guardiola will just go for the juggler and think, no, we need to get goals to make up for goal difference?
Oh, I'd be picking a 3 or 4-0.
Your thoughts on what are your thoughts on maybe, like Notorious Nerd has mentioned, maybe potentially captaining, and even Phil captaining Mane ahead of Sterling or De Bruyne or Aguero?
Did they not see what Leicester did to Southampton?
I'm gonna deliberately bring on. He's here now. Aussie boy. Oh my goodness! Sorry, I apologise, Aussie boy. I know that you're below me in the mini league. I was going to make myself feel good about myself that I was above you, but I'm now going to make us all depressed, and I'm now going to bring on a very, very, very special guest indeed. It's 2nd place, Andrew Fong. Andrew, are you there? Good morning.
Yo. Morning, mate. How's it going?
Well, straight away, I know I can hear you loud and clear. Everybody can hear you. Are live on the Elite FPL breakfast show at the moment. Come on, Andrew. I was about to speak to Aussie Boy and be like, right, let's feel good about myself. I then see you. Yeah. You're doing exceptionally well at the moment. Unfortunately, you've dropped down to 4th in the Cash Mini League. You're 20 points.
Jamie Vardy. What can I say? It's a weird one. I don't feel like I've actually... You're going to get annoyed by me saying this, but every week I've never had like a mega points haul. I just had a consistent sort of above average each week, which has kept me in the runnings. And my team's actually been pretty standard now. That last week where Leicester run amok, it's got me. So I'm actually at a stage where I'm not sure what to do with my team. Pookie, I'm losing patience with him. I think I'm one of the last people to not have shipped him out. but I'm midfield heavy, mate. So I can't get rid of Sterling. I'm not ever going to get rid of him. I'm not going to get rid of Salah. De Bruyne speaks for himself. Now, speaking from past seasons and last season particularly, you know, my tactic is 3 City, 3 Liverpool, and whatever else. The 2 best teams you need 3 of. Weirdly enough, I've just got rid of Otamendi, and he went and scored in the League Cup, didn't he? So
Are you willing to?
know.
Are you willing, like Phil, to disclose your transfer this week then?
Yeah, it's pretty boring. I've just gone to Tomori. So
You've gone with
Otamendi straight to Tomori.
Why a Chelsea defender, considering their defensive woes?
Just who was available? Who else would you have gone for? So let's have a quick look.
Have you not got enough cash to bring in Mendy?
I've got Sion. No, I didn't have enough cash for Mendy.
Right, okay.
I didn't. Now, I can't remember how much I would have had left, but yeah. What's Mendy? Is he 5.9 or
5.9? Yeah, you've only got 0.1 in the bank. So what's Otamendi? 5.1 or something?
Yeah, 5.4. I think he went down, so I'm on 0.8 in the bank. But listen, I've been meaning to call the show for ages actually, but just that hasn't really been possible. I've been moving across to Australia, so it's great that you do the show. So thanks very much for putting it on.
No. Thank you for supporting the show. It's a simple game. I'll ask you something personal. It's nothing bad. Where are you from in the UK, and then why have you decided to move to Australia?
Okay, so I'm from the Wirral, so that's northwest, so just outside Liverpool. So I'm a plastic scouser, and I met my wife in Australia about 10 years ago. So we got married last year, and we've been going back and forth from Australia over the past 10 years. I did a year in Australia for uni, then came home, then worked for a few years, went back to Australia, worked there for a couple of years, and now I've managed to get my permanent residency, so I can stay here indefinitely now. So we've got a big shipment container going from Liverpool to Sydney. We're a few hours north of Sydney at the moment, but I'm a teacher, so it's been a few years. I've qualified. I've got 3 years under my belt now, so now I can teach in Australia. I had to work for a few years in England first, so I'm on the job hunt at the moment. But my wife always jokes. She laughs. She says, "You do well in fantasy football when you're like in between jobs, or you've got fuck all to do." Ooh, sorry, family show.
I mean, I'm looking at. Wow, my goodness, you've been playing this game since 2009. Your highest ever position was top 5,000, basically.
Yeah, that was crazy that year. That was the SSS year. Salah Sterling. Salah Sterling. No, Suarez Sterling. Sturridge.
That's it. Yeah. Wow.
So basically, the past couple of years, my interest's completely waned. But this show and like just the hype around fantasy football, which has grown, I reckon, in the past. Well, definitely for this season, I've noticed it. Maybe the stars have aligned with social media and like YouTube and live streaming or whatever. But this year, I'm just stuck in. And in fact, one of the reasons why I'm into it so much is it's a nice way of me staying in touch with my mates back home. Yeah. So one of my mini leagues is actually all my best friends at home. So it keeps that sort of banter, and as well as just texting them on WhatsApp and having FaceTime calls. We're invested in this. It's a nice way of staying in touch. Because I'm a long way from home.
Yeah, it's the origins of this specific show. To be honest with you, it's we initially did this because of a work mini league and just a bunch of mates, and then now we've built a community where we're getting to know you guys, and we've got the various characters like Aussie Boy and Ray Joyce at the moment on air, and James Bang, of course. And it's something. In fact, I haven't actually spoke to James. Let me just unmute James. James, are you still there?
I'm here, Stevo.
Are you feeling like Andrew's just mentioned that this specific podcast does feel like a community base and it's just getting us all together chatting?
So what was that, Stevo?
I was just saying that you must agree that what myself and Jason are doing with all of you guys is that we're just building a community that just keeps us all in touch together.
Yeah, it's amazing what a global community it is. You know, from Australia to Europe to even Africa. It's truly amazing what you've built here, and that's in Asia.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm happy to talk to people at the bottom of the cash league, at the top. I don't discriminate.
Well, in your case, it's people at the bottom because you're doing so well at the moment. I mean, Aussie boy, are you there, mate?
Yeah.
How are you planning on catching people like Andrew?
I just have no clue. It's just everything seems to backfire. Like, I bring in Callum Hudson-Odoi, he looks so good, and then he just all of a sudden he doesn't start. Things like
mate,
that.
You've got to have patience. You've got to have patience. You can't just bring a player in for 1 week. You know, there's hype and bandwagons, but you know, if you make a transfer, you got to give it a few weeks.
Yeah, no. But I'm happy though. A move finally paid off for me though. Bringing David Silva in last week worked out for me.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, and I'm looking at Aubameyang. He needs to return for me this week, unless he's going to get the chop, and then I don't know. I want to try and find a way to get Sterling in as well. So.
Speaking of Aubameyang and catching people like Andrew, I feel like I've got to get creative and stick to my guns of form and fixture over player. So what I'm looking to do this week is get a bit creative and start Connolly up front over Aubameyang, because Wolves are really stingy away from home against top six. It's probably going to be a 1-1. And with Lacazette back and Aubameyang playing out wide, I don't think he's going to get too many shots on goal. And I can really see Connolly getting a goal or even an assist, and an assist. Right. So, because if you look at the FPL website, Connolly's form is 5.8 versus Aubameyang at 3.8. So if you just ignore the name and value, I feel like that's a risk I'm going to take this week. Wanted your opinions on that.
Sorry, can I? When you were saying that, I was just laughing to myself. Can you imagine what Jason would say to that?
Well, in fact, I'll do an impression. It'll be this. Oh, a Connolly to a Aubameyang. Yeah. I'll get your thoughts, Ray Joyce. Your thoughts on that specific, decision that James is thinking of doing.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Well, I've got you though. Talking differentials and stuff.
Yeah, go for it, Ray.
I just want to have a shout out to Booner, who I played in the head-to-head last week. He brought in Rashford, Martial,
mate,
for a -8 and beat me.
Mate, that
so big ups to him.
Those specific moves, I felt genuinely gutted for Booner. I mean, as a rival, I joked and said I'm glad it didn't pay off as it should, but as a genuine mate, I'm like, you've just brought in Rashford and Martial for a -8. Everybody laughed at him like you're a fool. Jason was just like, you're mad. And yet, it paid off, but it was just the fact that two of them missed the penalty. I mean, could you imagine if they both scored the penalties? And Booner would be...
He could have had a monster.
Yeah, he'd be absolutely laughing his head off at everybody. But, so James, how definite are you on actually thinking of doing this Aubameyang out for Connolly in your team?
Aubameyang is actually on my bench right now, and Connolly's starting up front. Because I've had them both. It's just about putting him on the bench, just for this week.
I just can't. When I'm looking at that, I just can't bring myself to bench someone like Aubameyang of that value, you know. Even if it's against Manchester City, I still probably couldn't bring myself to do it. It's just because he's an elite player, so I would be benching someone of that
No,
status.
I wouldn't be doing it if Lacazette
frustration.
wasn't up front. And, looking at the heat map last week, it was just horrible with Aubameyang out wide, not a single shot on goal. So I'm just not very confident with a stingy Wolves defense.
I've got a question for you then. So would you make the same move if Aubameyang got an assist in the last game? Just an assist. Would you have still done it?
I'd probably take the assist. I just feel like he's going to blank again. And Norwich with that pathetic defence, I can really see Connolly getting 1 or 2 returns.
Are you not worried
and he's on form.
Are you not worried that Trossard may start? Because I know Notorious Nerd keeps banging on about this. That Trossard may start and Connolly loses his place?
I'm going to have to see what happens in the League Cup tomorrow. Brighton playing.
I don't have a clue. It would be tonight though. That's the thing. I know for you it'd be
tonight.
tomorrow, but
Yeah.
let's just find out if Brighton are still in the cup, and we'll let's just quickly bring this up, the fixtures here for 2 seconds. No, Brighton aren't playing. We've only got 3 games, so it's Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Wolves, and Chelsea versus Man U.
In that case, I will go for it. I'm going to say it on air. I'm going to stick to it. Aubameyang's on my bench. I'm going to go with it.
You're
I'm
doing.
interested to see how it goes for you.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a Shano. You're doing a Shano here, and to be fair to Shano, for anybody that doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about, Shano, one of our regular contributors, he triple captained Connolly at the weekend, and it paid off. Which is just, and he stuck to his word. He made the bet and everything. I'm going to bring on another. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, the show's really having a big influence on me. You can tell.
In all seriousness, do we have any influence on you, James?
Sorry, you cut out there for a sec.
Do we have any influence on your decision making? Just of interest.
You actually do. Yarmolenko's in my team because of you. I got those 8 because you specifically pointed him out. And I checked out his history over the course of his career in Germany and where he's played. He's always had a return every other game, whether it's a goal or assist. So you pointed me to a player. I did some extra research and I brought him in. So yeah, definitely you do have an influence.
Let's bring on Davey FPL. That'll be 7 of us on in the chat in a moment. Good morning, Davey. You've only just woken up. What's going on? Hello, Davey.
Hello?
Yeah, there he is. Morning, Davey. You right?
I thought I was tripping because I wasn't seeing any on-air group on Discord. So I was like, has there been a new Discord created or something? But I see it's just locked.
Yeah, you are live with the audience. And what are your instant thoughts on James saying that he's playing Connolly over Aubameyang? What are your thoughts on that?
His team, so he can do what he wants. But I don't see anything wrong with it, to be honest. But the only thing I'd be worried about is the whole benching thing. Because apparently some Brighton fans have been saying that he might not start. They don't know. Or he might play 60 minutes or whatever.
Now,
just maybe suggest to you the whole, the emotion of the occurrence of this Arsenal game. It's a home fixture, and after all the problems Arsenal's been going through, maybe they'll step up the performance a little bit.
What are your actual thoughts on the game its specific self? Because it is going to be a tough fixture. It is Wolves. Unfortunately, they are notorious for actually, in fact, 2 of the games have actually finished 1-1 at the Emirates, would you believe, over the last 3 fixtures. The history is going
That's
with...
my score prediction as well, 1-1.
What about you, Davey, on this particular fixture? Are you expecting to...
I don't think Wolves are playing to the standard that they were last season, so I think I might take the history with a little bit of a pinch of salt compared to this season. But I do think it would be a close game, but I don't think that Wolves are kind of trekking on like they did last season. So maybe I would say maybe like a 2-0 to Arsenal, something along those lines. If
And
Willy
what do you
Bolly
think
is
Brighton
still
will
out,
win by
then maybe.
over Norwich at home?
Oh no, I think that's my team selection coming up Thursday. I'm thinking about doing an old Pookie to Mapai. Because
wow.
I think they're gonna smash them.
So that's
I'd say a
annoying
good
bec-
3-1-4-1.
That's giving me an idea.
Because
actually.
I've almost held on to Pookie long enough
Well,
that I
I-
might as well give him this game and the Watford game.
all I'd say, Dave, is that you have got a genuine rival well, talking to us now in Andrew. You're 16 points behind Andrew at the moment in our Cash Mini League. Is this a move that you think will help you catch up to get into that top four places?
I was listening to what Andrew said, and I'll disclose my transfers thoughts if you guys promise to still like the video. Because basically what my plan is to do Pookie to Mapai, and that gives me enough money to do Otamendi to Mendy.
Along with Ake, yeah.
I see, like, because I have two free transfers. I just heard you saying that you don't have enough money. But I don't think Tomori's a bad transfer for Otamendi.
I'll just throw something into the mix here. I'm adverse to spending. I'm adverse to taking hits. I've taken 0 hits this season.
No, that's what I was gonna
on
say.
that.
Yeah, I thought that you might have maybe only one free transfer, which makes sense then.
Yeah. I like that move. No, mate, I think that's good. I'm looking at Pookie and I'm thinking, it's.
Is he?
No, I should probably say that I'm thinking about wildcarding then after this game week.
Oh, really?
Because I don't think that. Yeah, so like I should have said that. So taking like a 1-week punt on Brighton players, because if you look at their fixtures, they don't have the best fixtures, and as much as Brighton have been playing better this season, I don't think that they're going to perform that well over those fixtures. So kind of as a 1-game week punt, I was thinking about doing it.
So what's making you think of doing your wild card then?
Man City fixture swing. I'm thinking about shifting it to double Liverpool, Mane, Salah in midfield, and then distributing some funds all around.
Wow, that's yeah. You're obviously we all know that you're a Liverpool fan. You're confident with a double Mane and Salah, double up basically. You think they're going to be constantly bringing in the returns at such a high rate? Because at the moment people aren't particularly happy with the returns from Salah.
I'm always a fixture type of player, so I just compared the 6 or 7, because then if you look at Man City, their 2 green fixtures are a little bit tough as well. Look, that's the thing with City, is they're always a little bit fixture proof. So I can say this game week, and then they go and beat Southampton 12-0 on the weekend, and suddenly I'm like, oh damn, I can't not have a City player.
Ray Davies just said that you're going to lose 12-0. Well, what are your thoughts, Ray?
Oh, you're cutting out.
I was just saying, Davies just joked and said that Man City will probably beat you 12-0. What on earth would you do if that happened?
That'd be fine. I've got 3 Man City players as well.
That's how you got to play it.
I mean, looking over at Man City's fixtures, I made a couple of predictions the other day regarding their upcoming fixtures. So Southampton, let's just say 3 or 4-0. Liverpool away, it's got a draw written all over it. Chelsea at home, I genuinely can see them wiping them aside. Newcastle away, again, same thing. Burnley away, same thing. Man United at home, I can see that being a tight game. And then Arsenal away, again, 5 or 6 goals. So actually, although Liverpool do have some excellent fixtures, I mean, here's a question for you, Davey. Have you considered maybe Salah, Sterling, De Bruyne? Salah, Mane, Sterling, and De Bruyne. Have you thought about that quadruple?
I haven't thought about it that much. I haven't really done like many drafts of it, I've just kind of done a little bit of thinking and was like, this plan could work. But yeah, that's also an option to go for. And that's the thing, is sometimes with these Man City games, you'd actually rather have them playing a tough opposition because it's a more open game than having a team play Liverpool and they just camp in the box for the whole 90 minutes. Because those games usually don't offer that many goals, especially for the likes of Salah, because he usually likes to play a little bit more open. Doesn't really like to be closed off that much. So it's something to anticipate. But it was just an idea that I had, and what, to do in the future.
Aussie boy, you're a Liverpool fan. Your thoughts on Dave?
He just left the Discord. I think he reconnected.
Let's just bring him back. Bring him back in. Aussie boy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here now. Cut me out.
You're a Liverpool fan. Your thoughts on Davies' potential double up on his wild card of Mane and Salah?
Yeah, I really like it. So, I think that you're gonna at least get a return from one of them every week. The only problem is it might cause a bit of a captaincy headache, but people have got around that with Sterling and De Bruyne. So I guess you can get around it with Salah and Mane. Yeah, they're both. I still believe Salah's a great option. I also think Mane's a great option. So there's not really, I don't see much of an issue with doubling up, because I'm also thinking about doing it.
How would you navigate that, Davey, the problematic issue of captaincy between Mane and Salah?
I didn't even think about that one. So that's quite a good point there. I'd probably captain Mane most game weeks. I just think he's a better threat than Salah. I always talk about, but then if like James Milner comes on, then it's like that kind of thing. But I always just say Mane's headering threat is just so much better. You never see Salah basically take a header, and if he does, it's usually quite weak. But Mane's always there on the corners, on the free kicks even. So I just that's my opinion of it. Is I'd probably go Mane most game weeks.
Notorious Nerd actually mentioned the point here that maybe Mane could be a differential captain this particular game week because of his heading threat versus Aston Villa, and Aston Villa are apparently have conceded quite a lot of headers. Andrew, your thoughts on potentially Mane this weekend as a captaincy differential?
Yeah, he's always an option. We're talking about the man who scored 3 goals in 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
Yeah.
This is the caliber we're talking about. I've just gone for Salah, and I thought he's not leaving my team. I'll always captain him at home. But yeah, if you've got Mane, you can confidently captain him. I think regardless of the fixture at the moment with Liverpool. Same with City, same with Sterling. I know a lot of people, the trend at the moment is to captain De Bruyne, but I would be very nervous at a City game if Sterling was starting. So, yeah, if you've got Mane, captain him.
What's your prediction then for the game versus Villa?
Sorry, say that again.
Your prediction for the game against Aston Villa on Saturday. What are your thoughts on that?
Villa?
Yeah.
A win. Comfortable. Grealish might cause problems. Again, he's creative, but yeah, 3-1.
Yeah, the history.
Something like that.
Yeah, the history's actually
I
suggesting
hate to say that because I've got two Liverpool defenders, but yeah, we'll probably concede. But I can't. I mean, did you see the second half against Tottenham? It's just relentless. Like Liverpool are just, I can't look past Liverpool in any fixture at the moment.
Well, I'll ask you.
They're shaky at the back without Matip for up to 6 weeks. Do you guys see Lovren or Joe Gomez getting that spot, nailing it down in the near future?
Looks like Lovren, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's Lovren at the moment because Joe Gomez is not in the best form right now. So yeah, I'd probably see Lovren will start the upcoming, but there'd be a massive rotation risk with those two.
Well, talking of their defence, your thoughts. I'll ask you, Davey, first. Your thoughts on keeping hold of Trent Alexander-Arnold? Because I'm just kind of sick to death of him not keeping just a clean sheet. Davey, you there? Oh, he seems to have...
Right,
I'll ask you on Andrew
gonna
then. Your thoughts on Trent
say
Alexander-Arnold?
you're sick of. All right, Steve. You say you're sick of no clean sheets for Liverpool. Since the start of the season, I've had Robbo and Trent Alexander-Arnold nailed on each week. How many clean sheets have I had? But I'm still going to keep them. I was shocked that people were taking Robbo out, and then he goes and gets. I think is he on like 1 point less than Trent at the moment? Oh, he's actually the same points. You say like you were annoyed about the lack of clean sheets. They'll come. The clean sheets will come, and not only that. I mean, people just completely ignore Robbo. I don't know why. If you watch,
They've been listening to
Robbo,
Jason, haven't they?
He's. I don't know why he's not convinced. He's class.
Yeah.
He litters. Right. Okay. Albeit he doesn't litter as many balls into the box as Trent. He's got the top. I think it's the most chances in the entire in Europe at the moment. I think the most average chances per game created. But Robbo is just as lethal.
Honestly, the weekend when I covered the game on Sunday, all I kept hearing was Trent Alexander-Arnold whips the ball in the box. It's dangerous, and Firmino's missed it. Mane's missed it. Wijnaldum's. It was driving me up the flaming wall. I agree with Planet FPL. There will be a day, potentially this game week, where Alexander-Arnold could get 3 or 4 assists. I think that day will happen, and the question is, how long do you keep hold of this player for at 7.2 million? I've been seriously contemplating just to get rid of this guy here, just to save me like maybe 2 million or something like that. Oh, just some
He's
cheap,
a midfielder.
Cheap rubbish player.
He's like an attacking midfielder. Oh, I think that's.
But he's not bringing in the returns, Andrew. For me, he's not bringing. He's brought in 1 goal and 3 assists, and if we're going down that route of he's an attacking midfielder, if I had an attacking midfielder at 7 million that had only brought in 1 goal and 3 assists, he'd be gone out of my team. That's the issue that I have. And the reality is that all these poorer teams not poorer teams, but you know what I mean, non-premium teams like, Sheffield United as an example, Bournemouth as an example, you'd be better off getting a defender from them than for clean sheet potential anyway. It's just it's very, very.
But if you count his 2 clean sheets, Steve-O, doesn't that give him 6 returns technically, which you'd be quite happy with for 7 million?
Let's have a quick look. So it depends when he got those specific clean sheets. So clean sheets this year he's got 2. So we had, if we're going to be going down that route, it would be a return in game week 1 he got an assist, game week 2 a blank, game week 3 an assist, game week 4 was an assist and a clean sheet, game week 5 blank. He's not even returning in every single game. It's in fact the last 3.
We all want you to drop him, Steve-O, because then he's guaranteed to hold.
Well, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Thier or Anurag. I can't remember now. They said that whatever I do, everybody else should do the opposite because it is going to come through and prevail. So, okay, we'll get a vote from all 5 of you. We'll go with you, Andrew Fong. Do we keep Trent Alexander-Arnold? Yes or no?
No brainer. Yes.
Ozzy?
Yeah, keep him.
James?
Season keeper.
Davey?
Yes.
Yeah, and then are we going to get a no from Ray? Ray?
Nah, unanimous. You got to keep him.
So the unanimous vote there of 3 yeses. Blimey. Right then, so Andrew, moving forward, how are you planning on catching this Show Me the Mane then, who seems to have this magic ball, magic crystal ball? How are you planning on catching this guy?
Let me just bring his team up. I'm pretty sure he's got Vardy. He's definitely got Vardy.
Yeah, he's got. I've got his team up on screen right now. So just to quickly go
I'm not
through.
watching the stream. I'm not that sophisticated. I'm just.
It's all right. We'll do it for audio quickly. So we got Matt Ryan, Rico, Alexander-Arnold, Cresswell, David Silva, De Bruyne, Salah, Yarmolenko, Willian, Callum Wilson, and Vardy.
No, he's had a lucky week. I'm not trying to get on the wind up, but the Rico 5, that's lucky. Willian, it's insightful, but he's not a consistent returner. Yarmolenko, he's good. Actually, to be fair, Yarmolenko, I like that pick. David Silva, has he been consistent?
Yes, he has.
I think he's been playing well recently. Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, he has, hasn't he? Yeah. Okay. And Callum Wilson blanked probably for one of the first game weeks. I don't know how I'm going to catch it. If Vardy continues on this run, I generally won't catch him. I don't think, because at the moment I'm struggling to get Vardy into my team. He doesn't have Abraham, so there could.
But he got rid of him for Vardy.
Yeah, so I mean, if Abraham, if Tammy has a good game, I guess it's down to my captaincy picks. Sterling, who are City playing next week?
Next week,
Southampton. Oh, okay, there you go. That's how I might catch him. Sterling, triple captain.
Well, he said, this is what I've said it before and I'll say it again. He has specifically said on stream that for this game week 11, he's brought in a player who is owned by less than 1% of the game, and he's going to captain him. Now, someone's already mentioned that he reckons it's going to be Pulisic.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's surely going to be Pulisic. He does all these outrageous moves.
Did he score the hat trick?
Yes.
As well.
The Yank. Okay. Yeah. God, he's playing well. What can I say? My team is going to stay pretty similar over the next few weeks. I'm hoping for Pookie to make returns. I'll probably end up captaining Sterling. How can I catch him? Huge points hauls from Robbo. That's about it. That's all I can say. The other guy I'd like to just have a shout out for, because I thought he spoke articulately and it was fascinating to hear him talk, was that Juggernaut guy. He goes off the stats, doesn't he? I was actually like...
That really infuriated me when he came on.
He has influenced my captaincy picks, because he was behind me for a while and I was thinking, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. If he's going for the stats each week, I'll do it and he'll never catch me, so...
yeah,
fair play.
Ironically, this specific game week, he didn't actually go with the history. Although, to be fair, he didn't actually have one of the players that the history suggested to put it on. But if he had just gone with the Sterling captaincy instead of Abraham, then yeah, he'd have.
He must be gutted in that game week. I know it's 56, and I know that's probably going to annoy other people, but he was I think he was hovering around 6th place.
Yes.
So yeah.
He's been absolutely storming at the moment, and he did say he accredited it. It's a hard word to say. To literally captaining the history. Every single week, and of course the one week I decide to do that, it blanks, surprise, which is no fault of my own. It's all down to Pep Guardiola and benching. Davey FPL, while we've got you on air at the moment, have you any thoughts on any potential patterns where Aguero's not starting and then he's starting? And the reality is that, do you think Aguero will start on Saturday?
That's a tough one. I think the change this season has been the starting 2 in a row. So everyone thought it's because Jesus started the League Cup or the Champions League that Aguero would start on the weekend. So I think that's kind of messed it up completely. I don't know. I think that Aguero played well yesterday. So if you're looking at the player that's in better form, I would maybe go. I don't know if I would captain Aguero, but I think if you have him in your squad, you have to hold him for the Southampton game. After that, maybe you can look because of the fixtures, but I think you just have to take the risk. If Aguero plays, he scores goals. simple. So it's a tough situation to be in. I'm happy that I'm not in it, being a Sterling owner, but I really can't tell you. I don't know what goes on with Pep's mind. He seems to analyze the opposition and choose whichever player is better.
Would you, if you're in a position like myself, who owns Aguero and Kevin De Bruyne, would you put the safety on Kevin De Bruyne? Because the history suggests captaining him this week. Or would you go with, well, Aguero basically?
You can take that answer from that rooster.
From the rooster, yeah.
That summed it up quite well.
That's me, guys. Sorry, I'm on vacation in Bali, and there's a rooster here.
Get him on. What does he think?
Probably make a better team than me, am I right? Just picks at the screen and picks them. Steve-O, I think, honestly, if I'm in your position, I think I would just go for the Aguero captaincy.
Yeah, well,
I think that you need to make up some ground in the mini league or whatever, so I think it's worth the risk.
All I will say is that literally this time last year, Man City were at home to Southampton. Do you know what the score was? So it was Gameweek 11, Man City were playing Southampton. Davey, do you know what the score was without Googling it?
Was it a 5-0?
Aussie boy?
Don't know.
Adam? Andrew?
Take a guess.
9-0.
Ray Joyce?
I don't remember, and I'm sure I don't want to remember.
And finally, Rooster. What do you, James? What do you think?
I'm not too sure.
It ended 6-1, and we had Aguero scoring a goal. He got 2 assists. Sterling, on the other hand, got 2 goals and 2 assists.
Okay. 2 goals.
Yeah. And I remember...
I'm trying to think if that was the game that really boosted my rank. Because I remember there was one game week where I captained Sterling and everyone went to Aguero.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That might have been earlier on.
Maybe this will jog your memory, possibly. Danny Ings, funny enough, if Phil's still listening, but Danny Ings got a penalty in that specific game. I don't know if it boosts your memory at all, Davey, but yeah, it looks like it could be goals galore again, possibly. And funny enough, that was all... Oh, it doesn't actually... Does it say? I wonder if it was a 3 o'clock kickoff or not. It doesn't actually... Yes, it was. It was a 3 o'clock kickoff as well. But it was on a Sunday. So yeah, and on our first stream, I made the point that Aguero will probably do nothing, and surprise, he went and got the goal and 2 assists. But yeah, I mean, Lewis Kirkby straight away saying the Rooster will probably have a better captaincy pick than him. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I'm in the complete same boat as everything here. Right then. We'll end it there, I think, and that will conclude the morning show. But before everybody panics and starts leaving, Ray Joyce, do you have any final thoughts before we let you go? You've got Davey FPL here, you've got Andrew Fong, who are 2 of your big rivals. Have you got any thoughts for them before we let you go?
Oh, no, I just want to thank you, really, Steve-O, and Jason and Dan for all the stuff they're doing on the site. And, yeah,
cheers,
it's really
Dave.
enjoyable. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Cheers, mate. Really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. There's hardcore Elite FPL member Ray Joyce there. I really do appreciate his support. Davey, have you got any...
Sorry, with so many great veteran players on, I've actually got a question for you guys. Has there ever been a season with so many great starting defenders priced at 4.0 to 4.5? You know, your Lundstroms, Ricos, Lascelles, Tomori, Soyuncu, or is this an exception?
I think...
Are we spoiled?
The only thing that I can think of off the top of my head immediately, it's not specifically across the board, but I do remember when Burnley underneath Sean Dyche, when we first came up, a lot of people were doubling up with Tom Heaton and whoever in defence. So I remember it was Trippier, actually, a lot of people were going for, and Michael Keane as well. I remember that a lot of people were doing. But can you remember Davey at all off the top of your head?
I remember when I had Kevin Long. I think he was Burnley, if I'm correct, Steve-O.
Yes.
Like
yes.
old times. So I had him. He was a formal defender before the likes of Wan-Bissaka and Lundstrom. Bench boosted. He got a clean sheet and a goal that week. So
of course he did.
He's always has a special place in my heart.
Davey, I tweeted. Yeah, go for it.
So I think this season's a little bit different because I think a lot of the premium defenders aren't performing as well. So our attention has kind of been drawn to those 4.5 options. I think they've always generally been there, but I think that now that they're performing a lot better than the premium options, we kind of, as I said, like we've been noticing them a lot more. So I think they've always been there, but we just haven't been focused on them.
There's a quick question.
Right, thanks, David. That's a great answer.
A quick question for you, Davey, actually, and it has actually come up, and I mentioned it earlier on, but Robert Dinsmore's asking this specific question, but triple captaining either Aguero or Sterling this game week, do you think is a valid option?
It's a valid option. I would go for Sterling, though. I think Sterling is as close to guaranteed to start as probably Edison this week. So I think that there is a shout for triple captaining. I don't know if there might be better home fixtures than Southampton. I think the 9-0s kind of swayed us a little bit, but if they were playing the likes of maybe Norwich or something, I know that Norwich did beat them, but I think that could maybe be a better game. But I do think there is a shout for it this game week.
Brilliant. So just to remind everybody, Davey, you're thinking of genuinely taking a punt on a Brighton player, and you're how likelihood are you activating the wild card in game week 12? For game week 12?
I'm probably about like 50% sure, but this season every game week's different. I mean, every single game week I think I'm going to do something and then I don't. So
because obviously
we'll take a look at it.
Because obviously, I mean, the Rooster was pretty happy with that answer. But obviously, last year, you held on to your wild card until Christmas, and you just said, "I'm just using it because I have
I had to use it on the last game week. I had to use it on the last game week that it was possible, end of December.
Yeah.
And I think I made like 3 transfers on it, so it was a waste.
Absolutely typical. Davey, have you got any final thoughts for Andrew Fong, one of your rivals, before we let you go?
I want to ask Aussie Boy 2 questions. The first question is, what was the best country he visited when he was in Europe? And the second question is, how easy was it to get tickets to the Liverpool games?
So yeah, probably England was my favourite out of the 3 countries I went to. The easiest I got it. It's not that easy. So for the Champions League, my dad just saw on the website just before we left that it was there, and so we just bought them quickly. They weren't the best of seats,
okay.
But they have this website called Ticket Gum for most of the games, where basically the season ticket holders go on there, and when they can't make a game, they can, through the website, they can sell the tickets for that game.
Okay.
But
yeah.
the thing with that is there was we got jibbed a bit because we paid extra, like only time we're ever going to go. We paid extra to be able to get nice seats, but the seats that we got weren't even in the section we paid for.
Okay. What countries did you visit?
So I visited England first, and we went around London, went to Liverpool, all these other places, and then France was nice, Paris specifically, and then we went to Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam.
Okay, that's interesting.
Wow.
Okay, thanks for that. Thanks, Steve-O, for the travel agent, Elite FPL travel agency. Good luck with the stream, the celebratory stream.
Cheers,
and good luck for your game week 11, guys.
More than welcome to join us. It's just going to be a bit of fun. I'm going to be eating cake, so
I'm in my exam period now, so that's why I only woke up now. Thanks for liking it. And I wanted to say, Steve, I'm in my exam period, so that's why I woke up now. Otherwise, I would have woken up earlier. Okay.
Right, cool. How are you getting on with your studies anyway?
They're fine. I start next week Monday, my first exam, and then I end on the 20th of November.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I'm also just about to enter that as well. So.
Good luck for them.
Davey, cheers, dude. Speak soon.
Thanks, Steve. Cheers, bye.
There's Davey FPL there. We all know who he is. He's one of the more bigger YouTube content creators. He's doing absolutely fantastically this year. Check out his page, as they all say. James.
Hey, Steve-O.
James,
Sorry about the rooster there.
do not apologise. It's all a bit of fun. Have you got any final thoughts before we let you go, basically?
Yeah, I just think it's wonderful how FPL bring people from all walks of life together. You know, you got young guys. I'm in my 30s. You also have the owner of Sheffield United, who's a billionaire sheik who's a huge fan of the game. So I think it's just amazing how this FPL game can just bring people all across walks of life together, and you're a big part of bringing us all together.
I saw that actually the other day. He got a big podcaster, one of the FPLers. I can't remember who it was. He got them up to the game actually and covered it or something. So you never know. Me and Jason may be doing that a Premier League team ourselves and doing a live show from a Premier League game itself. James, will you be joining us for the birthday celebrations?
Absolutely, I can't wait. 100%.
Brilliant. See you on Friday. Well, actually, no, we'll see you tomorrow for the predictions. So, cheers, dude. Thank you.
Thank you.
And cheers to the rooster there. Fantastic. Aussie boy, have you got any thoughts for Andrew before we let you go, seeing as Andrew's about, like me, 200 points ahead of us?
Well, since I'm not going to be anywhere near that, I hope you do well and don't. If you're going to keep up with Show Me the Money, you're going to have to make these crazy moves. So look outside the box.
Cheers, mate. And I'm glad you enjoyed Liverpool whilst you were in Pommyland.
Yes, thanks.
There we are. Cheers, Aussie boy. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, see you, mate.
See you, mate.
And Andrew, the final words for you. Have you got anything to say to your rivals that are going to be watching the show? Have you got any thoughts about anything really?
Yeah, just going to say thanks to you, Jason and Dan, for the show. I've been listening to it since just before the start of the season. I also travelled around Europe, so it was great on these long bus journeys just before I came out to Australia. Listen to you on the flight over here. Listen to you,
Really?
Yeah. So it's I've been wanting to call it for a while. So hopefully we'll try and make it a regular thing. Now, it's more likely that I'll be able to do the breakfast things, but I'll check in from time to time. Don't get annoyed with the game. I know there's people below me that are starting to get frustrated. You've got to keep your head. There's people talking about getting rid of Aubameyang. I just think people need to pinch themselves sometimes and have a bit more patience. That's my advice. As for those above me, we'll see. It's a long season, isn't it?
It is indeed, Andrew, and I'm glad that myself and Jason have provided you with the audio that we've been giving you. Were you when you were on the plane and everything? What was it? Were you watching live? Were you? How were you?
I download. I've got this app where I can download YouTube videos.
Oh wow!
It's called on Android. It's called New Pipe. It's like it's a bit of a dodgy YouTube. It's not dodgy, but it's like a open source version of YouTube that allows you to download shows. Well, like download videos.
Oh wow!
And have them stored on your. Though having said that, on Etihad Airways, they do have internet on the flight, but it's so slow, mate. It's like worse than your internet. I'm not saying something.
And that's going to be getting sorted soon as well. Andrew, I really do appreciate you coming on. Thank you, man.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, good talking to you.
No,
see you later.
Cheers, dude. There's Andrew Fong there, fourth in our cash mini league. Is absolutely fantastic there. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up this morning's show. In fact, I'm gonna wrap up this morning's show. I can only say thank you to let's be honest here. Thank you to Phil, Ray, Davey FPL, James, Andrew, and of course Aussie Boy that joined me live, because yeah, a wonderful discussion, and that's what we're here for. We're here for just having a chat, a conversation about all things fantasy football, and of course the real life football as ever. So really do appreciate that. And as Andrew said, be patient. I mean, here's me planning on considering doing Phil touched upon it earlier on, me considering doing a -20 just to sort out my team, but reality is that just stay patient, stay calm, and the rewards should come through soon. But there are players in my team I'm just sick to death of owning, and one of them is Callum Wilson. But again, we'll save that for a different day. We'll be here all day otherwise. Yeah, anyhow, I'm going to do the admin as per normal. I mean, Davey FPL alluded to it, but I'm just going to get on with the admin, and then we're going to call it a morning, and we can all enjoy our day. So, if you've simply enjoyed the video, by all means, just simply hit the like button. It's the easiest way to show your support for what myself and Jason do. If you are new around here, and you've either enjoyed the content today, and of course all the other content we do, but you haven't subscribed, by all means, just simply hit that subscribe button. As Andrew just said, he would prefer obviously to be coming onto the morning shows, because obviously for people in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Asia, like in a James's case, they can't really get the opportunity to watch us live. Well, I can do the morning shows when I can, really. So by all means, hit that subscribe button, that notification button, because usually most of the time I just do them impromptu, and obviously if you've hit the notification button it will just pop up like that. But anyway, that aside, the easiest way to find out whenever I'm going to be doing an impromptu stream is through Twitter and Discord. So on Twitter at Elite FPL, and of course through Discord. The link is in the description. That's how you can come live on air like all our friends just did just now. It's the easiest way to do it. Well, it is the only way to do it. You've been hearing the name Dan. Dan is the one that used to be one of our co-hosts. He now runs our Instagram page, so if you want to follow us on Instagram, by all means, it's at Elite FPL. Anything you want to know about Elite FPL, it's just Elite FPL. Just type it on Google and you will find something that represents us, and you'll be able to find all the links to the various YouTube videos we do. What I will say is that Thursday, so tomorrow, is our preview show. We'll of course be going through all our predictions, so myself, Jason, and whoever the caller is to represent you guys. Last week, I don't have the information directly in front of me, but I do know that I came out on top again. Surprise, surprise. The person that's leading the callers is FPL Nymphria, another YouTube content creator. You all know who she is. Yeah, Nymphria. She's actually leading. In fact, I believe she's got the highest point score this season for predictions. So it's unfortunate that none of us took upon her results and put it as bets, because we'd be very rich. But yes, Nymphria is leading the callers at the moment for her predictions on the games, and that was back in Gameweek 6 or 7, would you believe, when we had her live on air. Yeah, other than that, that'll be tomorrow evening, our preview show. I think it's at 8:30. Yes, it is. It's at 8:30 tomorrow evening for our preview show. So you'll find, well, we all know, if you were up early enough, you would have found out the exclusive of who to captain, this, what the history suggesting the captaincy should be. But the big one is Friday. Friday, I'm genuinely really, really looking forward to it. Friday is just going to be birthday celebrations. So if you're wondering what on earth I'm talking about, it's not a host's birthday, it's not a caller's birthday, it is the Elite FPL channel's 1 year anniversary. This Friday the 1st of November. This time last year was the first time myself, Dan and Jason went live on YouTube. And our man Dylan, who's been in the chat this morning, he's been there since that very specific day. And since that day we have just grown and grown and grown. Now we're at a stage where, as I mentioned earlier on, I'm now doing morning shows for our Southern Hemisphere fans, quite literally across the world. It's nuts, and it's just absolutely amazing that myself and Jason can provide a platform where we can all just chat with each other, basically, like this morning. We had people quite literally from South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, crazy, in Asia as well, me in England, just absolutely extraordinary. But yeah, it's our celebratory stream. We are probably going to be doing something slightly different regarding callers, in the sense of we want to be bringing on some of our hardcore Elite FPL followers. We're not what's the word I'm looking for? I've completely forgotten the word now. But discriminating. We're not discriminating against anybody, but we would like to get some of our hardcore Elite FPL on and just have one big, massive conversation. Get about 10 or so people live on air just to discuss the fun times. If you've got any anecdotes or favourite moments from the streams of past, it would genuinely be fascinating to hear some of your favourite moments from last year. I know that'll be a lot of the very, very hardcore men being with us through all of last year. But it would be really, really funny to, if we can, find some memories about last year and everything, and just talk. Fan of the show, by all means, share our content and tell your friends. It's been a straight away, Uncle Juicy TV saying, Jason's Red Alert episode from this season was awesome. Yeah, that's morning J&O, you've caught us late on, just as we're finishing. Thank you for joining in. I really enjoyed your stream actually the other day when you were doing it in the afternoon, and again I was gutted that you finished. Well, there's a clip straight away, the stream down for anybody. Just as I'm finishing, that's when it's going down. Brilliant. So I'm going to call it a wrap, and I'm going to Ryan, how about every caller you get Steve-O to eat a cake? Mate, honestly, I felt so sick the following day. It was like I'd been drinking vodka all night long. It wasn't particularly pleasant that I can't even remember what day it was. What was it? Monday morning. Yeah, for anybody that doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about, essentially on Sunday I said that for every goal that went in when I was covering the games live, I'd eat a muffin. And I only had 9 muffins, and I was pretty confident that I'd only eat 9. And we went past that. I think there was like 12 goals or something on Sunday, but whatever. Anyhow, guys, cheers for joining, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow evening at 8:30 for our preview show. Take it easy, guys.